Hi everybody, thanks for joining me. It's time to do another monthly giveaway on one of these Arteza folded frame papers. So I've taken it out of the pad and took the corners out and punched out those little tabs so it'll be ready to be folded when it's done. And on the back it shows you how to fold the frames. So I will put a link to those frames in the description box in case you want to get some for yourself. So I decided that I'm going to put some wonky faces on this project for the month, and I want to add some color around the edges. So I'm just going to go in with some black gesso and paint the outer edges of the frame so that when it's folded up, the outside edges will be black. And I've sped up a lot of this video just to keep the time down a bit, and I will just pop in and out here and let you know what I'm doing, but there's also captions on the screen. So where I'm going to paint the faces, I put a layer of white gesso, and now I want to get some color down on my background. So I have 3 colors of Distress Spray Stain. The first color is Barn Door, and then I'm just going to spray that with some water. Starting to get it juicy. Now I have Speckled Egg, which is the new color from Ranger Tim Holtz, which I love. And then finally Rusty Hinge. And some more water. And I'm just tipping it and letting it kind of flow together, and then I'm going to just chase it around with my dryer or my heat gun. And I just love the way it dries down. It's got the little spots in the background, and one color just moves into the other, and I just really love it. So now I'm just going to take a regular, I think it's a 2B pencil, and start sketching on my wonky faces. And at this stage it's just getting the initial outline and feature placement. And for these wonky faces, I'm going for distortion, not realism, not proportion, not placement, just trying to get a wonky look. The wonkier the better. And this is a process that I learned in a class with Deb Weiers, and I'm just kind of obsessed with doing these faces. They're just so fun, and they all come out, each come out different from the last. So now I just have a dip pen and some black India ink, and I'm just going to go over all of my pencil lines. I hadn't really used a dip pen much, probably in the last 50 years. When I was in high school, I did a bit of pen and ink work, but that's been a long time ago. But I have to say, you know, in the class, Deb showed how she used it, and so I thought, you know what, I have nibs and everything around here somewhere, so I drug them out, and I have to say, I really am enjoying using the dip pen. It's just a lot of fun. You can get some really nice fine lines depending on the nib that you have. This is a Speedball 512 Bowl nib, I believe. It's really easy to use. I had no trouble picking it right up again. And the nice thing about the India ink, as you'll see here in a minute, is you can reactivate it with water. So I just have a small brush, and I'm just going to establish some shadows just by going in with just water on my brush and letting the India ink bleed out. Pushing it around and getting some shadows where I want them. I like the dark shadows around the eyes of these characters. It just gives them a lot of personality. And yeah, it's the India ink. This was a surprise, a pleasant surprise, but as I'm moving the India ink around with the water, it's also reactivating the distress stains a bit. And so the India ink and water are taking on some cool color undertones when it's mixing with the stains. So that was a bonus. Then off camera, I just drew some irregular shapes in the background because I want to keep those blobs of color back there, but I'm going to mask out the rest with some watered down gesso. And here again, as I started to apply the gesso, it's like, oh, well, that's picking up color from the background too, which was really cool. You can see that right there where I'm working, it's turned kind of a real soft peach color. So I keep wiping my brush off to get the color out of the brush as I move from like one background section to another where the color transitions, so I don't get it muddy, and it just makes those colors in the background really soft. I was kind of thinking I was just going to get a white background, but this is even better. So by softening down the background, the faces really pop more because they have the more concentrated areas of color, as do the little shapes in the background. But the background was just too pretty. I couldn't cover it all up. So then I grabbed my Inktense pencils, and I'm just going to get some color from the end of the pencil onto a wet brush and get some color on the lips and cheeks, color in their eyes. Inktense pencils are just a real easy, quick way to get some real soft color wherever you want it. Adding a little bit here and there onto those shapes in the background. And then I just dried it really well. And they are permanent when they're dry. So that's another thing I like about them. And I'm sorry, I know the color I put on the lips and cheek was poppy red, but I can't remember what the other colors were, the green and the blue that I used. Now I have just a Uni-Ball gel pen, and I want to add some white lines and highlights. So since that Inktense is dry, I can go on top of it, and I really wasn't picking very much of it up on my pen. But at this stage, it's just kind of all about embellishing with lots of lines and expressive marks and mark making, just whatever you want to add. The more the better, really. The class that I took from Deb Weiers was on Kara Bullock's website, and I just signed up for a second class with Deb that starts at sometime later this month. But I enjoyed the first one so much that I thought, well, she's got another one, I guess I better see what that one's about. It's more faces, but I think she's adding animals in this time, which should be fun. Wonky birds and cats. And so I'll put the link to the class in the description box too, in case you want to check it out. So I'm just going round and round and adding lines here and there. And then back to the dip pen, and I'm just kind of redefining some of the features and adding back some of the lines that got covered up in the painting process. Making the eyes stand out a little bit more. So this is the giveaway piece for July. So if you would like to have a chance to win this, if you like these wonky faces, all you have to do is make sure you're subscribed to my channel, add a comment in the comments below this video, and hit the thumbs up, and you'll be entered to win it. What I do is once a month, at the end of the month, I make a new Arteza framed project and announce the giveaway winner from the previous month. So at the end of this video, I will announce who won the project from last month, from June. And then this is the giveaway for July. So at the end of this month or the beginning of next month, I will announce the winner of this piece. So that's how it goes. And we'll just keep going every month until you don't want to play anymore, or I get sick of making them, or whatever. But I have that whole pad of these frames, and it's like I wanted to try them really bad, and it's like, what am I going to do with all of these little framed pieces? So I just decided I would just make them and then give them away. So I did decide to add some hair, which I drew on with the dip pen. And then I'm going to go back to the Inktense pencils and paint it in. And I kind of decided that the face on the left is maybe a boy, and then the one on the right is a lady. So maybe she's his mom or something. And then I decided before I folded it up that I wanted to I have this just geometric fun washi tape in black and white, and I thought, gee, that would look nice on the sides of the frame. So you'll see when I fold it up, the tape ends up on the outside edges. And then just to finish it off, I decided it needed some lines just along the outer edges. So I went back to the dip pen for that. So I put the pad down just to keep the front of the piece clean. I wasn't sure if I had anything that was still wet or could smear onto it. And just proceeded to fold it up into the frame. That washi tape gave me a little bit of trouble at the corners, but I finally got it put together. I should have mitered the tape there and it would have been a lot easier, but it was fine once I got it in. So there it is, all done. You can see the tape's on the outside edges. I think maybe they need names. You guys should name them. Put some names in the comments too. What do you think they should be named? Okay, so now it's time to announce the winner of this piece. This is the one that I did at the beginning of June. And everyone who commented on that video was in the running to be entered to win this piece. So I thought I would just stick with the same way that I announced the winner of the first one last month, just like this. So I'll just let you watch and you see who won. Sioux Falls, you won it. Send me an email with your postal address so that I can get it sent out to you. I'll put my email in the description box below. So once again, if you want to get in the running to win the piece that I just did today, that winner will be announced at the end of this month. So you have a whole month to watch the video, comment, subscribe, and like the video. And your name will be in the hat. I know this isn't everyone's cup of tea, so if you'd like to leave a comment but you're not interested in winning the piece, just say so in your comment and I won't put your name in. I'd still love to hear from you. But I know not everybody likes this kind of art, so there we are. That was fun. Thanks for joining me today. And in the meantime, go make some art. Bye.